right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Can Congress react? If the Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade, can Capitol Hill step in to save it? We verify.
Brief break. One dry day before more showers and storms head our way. Some of the storms could be strong to severe.
But first, execution complete. A St. Louis County man dies by lethal injection.
James and Zelma Long were innocent victims of Carman Deck's heinous violence. Tonight, justice was served.
The convicted murderer's last words about love. 26 years after the murders of that DeSoto couple, the man responsible has been put to death. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. Our Robert Townsend was at the Bonne Terre prison tonight, where Carman Deck delivered a final message before his execution.
At 6:10 p.m., Carman Deck was pronounced dead.
After 26 years, 56-year-old Carman Deck was executed Tuesday by lethal injection at a Bonne Terre prison. It was for the murders of 69-year-old Jim Long and his 67-year-old wife, Zelma.
James and Zelma Long were innocent victims of Carman Deck's heinous violence.
According to court records, prosecutors said Deck gave a full account of the killings that happened on July 8, 1996. They say the St. Louis County man admitted that he went to the Long's DeSoto home, robbed them of at least $400 in jewelry, and then ordered the couple to lie face down on their beds. Investigators say the Longs pleaded for their lives for 10 minutes before Deck shot them both twice in their heads.
Tonight, justice was served.
Deck was convicted in 1998, but his death sentence was overturned 3 times. Monday, Governor Mike Parson declined to grant clemency for Deck. After Deck's execution, the prison's director read a statement on behalf of the governor.
The Department of Corrections carried out the sentence recommended by the jury and ordered by the court.
14 family members of the victims were here. None of Deck's relatives were here for his execution. His lawyer, however, was present. Now, in his final statement, Carman Deck released this brief 3-line paragraph. Deck said in part, quote, "My hope is that one day the world will find peace and that we all will learn to be kind and loving to one another." The Longs' loved ones did not issue a statement. Meantime, protesters in support of and against capital punishment demonstrated outside the prison.
Our thoughts remain with the victims' family members and hope that they can find closure.
In Bonne Terre, Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
Deck is the 5th inmate to be executed in the U.S. this year. Within the last 2 hours, we've learned new information about a double shooting in North St. Louis that left one man dead. The shooting happened this afternoon near Grand and Penrose, which is not too far from Fairground Park. Police say a man was shot in the head and a woman was shot in the chest. The man died. The woman was taken to the hospital with critical injuries. No word yet on a motive or any suspects.
More fallout tonight from that leaked Supreme Court document signaling abortion rights in America could soon dramatically change. Here's a live look outside the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C., where people on both sides of the issue are gathering to have their voices heard. It's just one of many protests across the country tonight. The High Court confirms the authenticity of that leaked draft opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito. But Chief Justice John Roberts says it does not represent the court's final decision. He's ordering an investigation into this unprecedented leak. Democrats are outraged by the potential decision. Many Republicans are blasting the breach of Supreme Court confidentiality.
If this decision holds, it's really quite a radical decision. I hope there are not enough votes for it. It's a fundamental shift in American jurisprudence.
This is very, very serious. It is an unprecedented breach of the court's confidentiality, and it is plainly meant to corrupt the process within the court.
With the ruling coming in late June or early July, there is still the possibility justices' votes could change. Hundreds of people rallied in favor of abortion rights outside of the federal courthouse in downtown St. Louis.
And the peaceful protest turned tense. Our Pepper Baker is live with more on what they had to say. Pepper.
Mike, and yes, people were gathered on the front steps of the federal courthouse, holding signs and sharing stories, all in support of abortion rights. Now, we're seeing these rallies across the nation in reaction to the Supreme Court's potential decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Free abortion on demand. People hate abortion ban.
Hundreds of advocates for abortion rights chanted in front of the federal courthouse in downtown St. Louis on Tuesday.
The leaking of this draft really just confirms what we already feared for so long, that our Supreme Court would overrule Roe v. Wade.
The U.S. Supreme Court's potential decision to reverse the constitutional right to abortion means it would be left up to state lawmakers to decide whether the procedure should be legal or not.
Women are always going to have abortions no matter what the laws are in this country. They will access them, and if they're illegal and not safe, women are going to die.
This is actually an issue of class because wealthy women will always have access to abortion and will be able to travel anywhere. Poor women, young women, women in rural areas, often minority women will not.
Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die during childbirth than their white counterparts.
This car came up to us somewhat slowly and then paused and then accelerated into us. And there's a lot of really angry, nasty, ugly people out there who are totally happy to run people over.
He said he was feeling okay and went back to focus on the matter at hand, standing up for abortion rights.
It was a draft. It's not a final decision. So we are still here, we are still fighting, and we are still getting abortions.
We reached out to several organizations who oppose abortion. Missouri Right to Life and the Archdiocese of St. Louis are waiting until the Supreme Court makes a final decision. Live in St. Louis, Pepper Baker, 5 on your side.
And the group Right to Life held a rally inside the Missouri State Capitol today. Such a decision to overrule Roe v. Wade would lead to abortion bans in roughly half the states, including Missouri. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is in Jefferson City with reaction from state lawmakers.
I'm Mark Maxwell at the Missouri State Capitol in Jefferson City. Republicans here are celebrating the pending Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Democrats are determined to fight back at the ballot box in November. Once the Supreme Court does issue that ruling and makes it final, Missouri becomes one of 13 states where abortion would immediately become illegal. Any doctor who performed an abortion could face a minimum of 5 years in prison for a Class B felony. They'd also lose their license to practice medicine in the state.
Hopefully Planned Parenthood is done here in the state of Missouri as far as abortions go.
We need to flip seats. We need to be electing people in our state who understand that this is government overreach.
The governor or attorney general could also expand Missouri's abortion ban beyond 8 weeks in the pregnancy to any time in the pregnancy. And a statement from Attorney General Eric Schmidt says he's encouraged and will take steps to protect the unborn, signaling he could do just that. Reporting in Jefferson City, Mark Maxwell, 5 on your side.
Tonight, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker is condemning the potential ruling.
No matter what atrocious opinion the Supreme Court officially rolls out this summer in regards to Roe v. Wade, abortion is safe and legal in Illinois.
Governor Pritzker signed the Reproductive Health Act in 2019, rescinding prohibitions on some late-term abortions and 45-year-old criminal restraints for doctors performing abortions.
So does the buck stop with the Supreme Court when it comes to abortion rights in the United States? Tonight, our Verify team is looking into what actions Congress can take. Here's Ariane Till.
Some people on social media have speculated what U.S. lawmakers could do to ensure abortion rights were federally protected. So let's verify. Can Congress pass a law that supersedes a Supreme Court ruling? Our sources are the U.S. Constitution, the U.S. Supreme Court, Professor Casey Burgett, director of the Legislative Affairs Program at George Washington University, and the Women's Health Protection Act. The answer is yes. Congress could pass a law that would supersede a Supreme Court ruling, but that law could later be struck down by the Supreme Court. In fact, lawmakers have already introduced the Women's Health Protection Act, which would codify Roe v. Wade, legally affirming a pregnant person's right to an abortion. In September 2021, the bill was passed in the House, and on February 28th, the Senate voted against bringing the bill to the floor. But if Congress passes a federal law that codifies a person's right to an abortion, it would supersede this potential Supreme Court decision. However, according to Professor Casey Burgett, director of the Legislative Affairs Program at George Washington University, it's not bulletproof. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
What can we verify for you? Get in contact with our team of fact checkers. Text the word verify to 314-425-5355. Our coverage of the future of Roe v. Wade continues right now on KSK.com and the 5 on Your Side app. There you can read more reaction from lawmakers and the future of reproductive rights on both sides of the river.
Tonight, we're hearing newly released 911 calls made just moments after a St. Louis teen fell to his death from a free fall ride at an Orlando amusement park.
All right, tell me exactly what happened.
The thing went down the drop, and when they got closer to the bottom, when it hit the brakes, the guy fell right out of the seat.
Investigators also released the police incident report from the night Tyree Sampson died. The report says it appears the ride was about halfway down its 430-foot tall plunge when the 14-year-old came out of his seat and landed on the ground. Several calls were made to 911, but they said Sampson was unresponsive.
Someone fell off of it?
Yeah, like someone just died on there.
Tell me exactly why you think he's completely gone.
He's face down, there's blood everywhere, he's not breathing. I've checked his pulse, there's no pulse.
The incident is still under investigation. Florida state officials found the seat's harness was manually adjusted to allow larger riders. Sampson was 6'2", weighed 380 pounds. His parents have filed a wrongful death lawsuit.
Jail fixes.
They'll be proud to know that their money's well spent.
Tonight, 5 on Your Side is getting an exclusive look at your tax dollars at work inside the City Justice Center. The big changes that include locks that work. He did time for his crimes and turned his life around. Now a local apartment complex has turned him away. The I-Team shuffles through the paperwork for answers.
Thursday's weather system has the ingredients for severe weather. When and where those ingredients come together to create problems.
Tomorrow, city leaders and public safety officials will show off a newly renovated floor at the City Justice Center. But tonight, 5 on Your Side is getting an exclusive first look at those changes. The renovations come after several incidents last year where inmates let themselves out of their cells and rioted. The city has already spent $7 million on changes to the third floor. It's almost ready to house 300 inmates. The biggest purchase? New locks that work.
We've pretty much painted the doors, got new locks, of course, new game tables. We've got the new officer station. We're going to have some TVs coming down the center. It'll be a little bit more easier for everybody to have social distancing while being held, and I think it'll be comfortable for everybody.
There are 3 more floors to be worked on. The total renovation will cost about $20 million, and there's no time frame yet on when it will all be complete. The jail is also looking to hire between 30 and 50 more corrections officers.
Tonight, a St. Louis man thinks he's being singled out for his past. He wanted to rent a new apartment and was met with a big no. The I-Team's Paula Vassan went straight to the fine print for answers.
It's basically me back in my youth.
A mistake at 18 cost Brandon Reed 5 years of his life.
I was just a kid that really wanted to fit in. I was a heavy drug user.
He's been out of prison for 12 years.
I donate to local charities. I pay my taxes.
And works here at the St. Louis nonprofit Criminal Justice Ministry.
Providing services to individuals who've been incarcerated. And I'm also the president of Pride St. Louis.
He'll soon be working toward a master's degree at Washington University. But he says at one local housing complex, all they see is a threat.
Yeah.
About a month ago, Reed realized he was ready for a bigger space.
So this all started from me wanting a dog.
He ended up in South City at the Hampton Gardens apartment complex.
I asked them about their pricing. I asked about, their credit score.
And their policy. He disclosed his 2 nonviolent felony convictions from years ago.
And they told me, oh, no. If you've had a felony within the past 100 years, you're not eligible to apply.
They said 100 years?
100 years. 100 years.
How did you feel when you saw that policy?
Like I just got out of prison.
Reed says the policy he was handed explains applicants face automatic rejection if they've been convicted of a felony or have had a serious misdemeanor offense.
And I was talking to my mom, and I was like, Mom, this just doesn't feel right.
In 2016, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development warned blanket criminal bans may violate the Fair Housing Act. It stated such bans could be discriminatory, even if it wasn't intentional.
Is this housing complex being discriminatory?
Absolutely.
We showed up at the leasing office to get their side. No one came out to talk with us. The I-team called and emailed at least 5 times requesting an interview. They emailed us a statement. It says in part, Hampton Gardens is committed to equal housing opportunity. Housing laws permit criminal background screening. The policy is intended to protect residents, not meant to be punitive. It adds denials can be reevaluated upon request. The company says this isn't their official policy. A spokesperson calls it outdated paperwork and says they're taking action.
It looks like they're trying to kind of cover for themselves.
Reed says his rejection shows how hard it is for people like him to find a place to live.
State data shows about 45% of people in Missouri who have gone to prison return within 5 years of their release. Housing advocates say easier access to housing means more stability, decreasing the likelihood people will return to crime.
Oh, it's essential.
Reed's boss, Tom Casey, spearheads a housing program for hundreds of people in St. Louis.
We provide them an apartment. They've got a case manager, access to mental health support, substance abuse support.
How important is housing in ensuring that people who get out of prison don't go back?
I think it's one of the major factors.
Just 22% of people in the ministry's housing program return to prison. That's less than half the state's average.
Our rate for recidivism is much lower.
It's why he urges landlords to give Reed and others a second chance.
And really evaluate tenants on who they are today.
For Reed, that's a 35-year-old whose purpose is helping others.
Yes, that's what kind of drives me to wake up in the morning.
Not allowing mistakes to define his future. Just a few days ago, Reed found a new one-bedroom. He moves in June 1st. For the I-Team, Paula Vassan, 5 on your side.
You can find the full statement from the Hampton Gardens apartment complex with this story at KSDK.com.
Well, there are storms and 90-degree days in our future, but it is going to be a chilly night, Scott.
Yeah, and they're not necessarily going hand in hand with each other either, or there's a little bit of separation here. We're in the low to mid 50s right now. Virtually the entire area is between 50 and 55. Pesky low clouds are here overhead, and there's some more that are coming up above those out to the west. So the chances of us seeing much sunshine tomorrow extremely limited. This is the energy springing and spinning over the Rockies right now. That will zip towards us. That's our Thursday and Friday weather maker, and it's likely to result in storms that will cause flight delays in and out of Lambert here as we head from Thursday into Friday. 52 degrees right now is the current temperature out at Lambert. Let's see if we got that, make it 53. Dew point's 46. How about 67 for the high today? Really didn't feel much like it with that gusty wind this afternoon. Northwest winds have settled down now to 9 miles per hour. Picked up about 0.2 of an inch of rain for most areas, although some spots got drenched early this morning east of St. Louis with those thunderstorms. Now here's the deal tomorrow. We can pretty much guarantee you're dry tomorrow. Not much sunshine, but if you're working outside, maybe you're doing some yard work or you got the lawn service coming, or you're the guy doing the mowing or trying to, it should be dry during the day. Temperatures, though, are chilly in the morning in the 50s. The showers that'll be running at us from the west during the afternoon will tend to fade as they approach St. Louis during the evening hours. Now, Thursday into Thursday night, there's a huge chunk of real estate here covered by a severe weather threat. It stretches from Missouri and Illinois back down into Texas and Louisiana. We're thinking the greatest risk is going to be to the south of St. Louis, and odds are it's farther south down into parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. But there still could be a few storms in and around St. Louis or over our southern counties that pick up a little bit of energy with this and become a little bit boisterous with gusty winds and maybe some hail. Still not confident that we're going to see an increase in those ingredients at the right time, though, so that remains to be seen. Showers will be around Thursday morning, then a bit of a break during the afternoon before more showers and thunderstorms come in Thursday night. Those will stick around into Friday, so Friday's a cooler day with showers, likely most of the day. We'll be drying out over the weekend, which is great for the moms, 79 for Mother's Day, and then look at Monday and Tuesday. Right around 90 degrees for the high. Looks like there might be a couple of spot thunderstorms next week, but we'll take that time next week with the warm weather to also dry the ground out a little bit. We could get another 1.5 inches of rain out of this next weather system.
All right, we do need a little bit of a dry out. Scott, thank you. Frank, what's coming up?
Well, and you've come to the right place. Jason Tatum with a big night, a hit and run with NOLAN ARENADO, a look at Ville Husso, and gosh, can the Cardinals please score some runs, please?
If you have a tip for the 5 on Your Side I-Team, call us at 314-444-5231 or email 5onyourside@ksdk.com. All calls and correspondence will be kept confidential.
The Cardinals got a problem. They can't score. In 7 of the last 10 games, 2 runs or less. Today, because Edmundo Sosa went on the COVID list, they called up Juan Yepez. Good idea. He has 9 homers. They need a few more weapons in Kansas City this week. Pretty good pitching matchup in the second. Dakota Hudson has been really good lately, and this is a pretty good pitch. But this Bobby Witt Jr. is a stud, one of the best prospects in the game, and it's 1-0 Royals. And later, the Royals beat up on the bullpen. Edward Olivares, base hit. Cardinals manage 6 hits, and they get beat. The final tonight, 7-1.
Chasing the Cup, sponsored by Car Shield.
The Blues will try and go up 2-0 tomorrow night in Minnesota. Defenseman Jared Spurgeon will play for the Wild, but he did get hit with a $5,000 fine for that cross-check on Pavel Buchnevich. That had no effect on the game. Ville Husso did. Hannah Yates has more from Minnesota.
After spending 5 years in the minors, Blues goaltender Ville Husso earned his spot in the National Hockey League and emerged as the Black Ace, controlling the net as the Blues starting goalie this season. Every team who's gone on to win that Stanley Cup has done it with stellar goaltending, and that's exactly what Ville Husso provided last night. He made 37 saves in the Blues' 4-0 win to become the first Blues goalie to ever record a postseason debut shutout.
He's been doing it all year for us, so obviously we all know goaltending's huge in playoffs, and it's nice when he was on his game early.
Husso is a man of few words who doesn't show a lot of emotion on or off the ice. His temperament and talent were the difference makers in Game 1.
He doesn't show much out there for sure. He's pretty composed, and like we said, he's always just looking to make the next save, and he's a great backstop for us.
After that outing on Monday night, Ville Husso is the projected starter for tomorrow night in Game 2. Puck drop is right here at 8:30 p.m. Reporting from Minnesota, Hannah Yates, 5 on Your Side.
All right, Hannah, thank you. Celtics and Bucks, Game 2. Jason Tatum had his 3-pointer working, and the Celtics dominated from start to finish. Tatum, 5 of 10 from 3. He had 29 points, 8 assists. The Celtics even the series at a game apiece with a 109-88 victory. We often play a game called Hit and Run. It's rapid-fire Q&A with a sports celebrity, and they don't come any bigger than NOLAN ARENADO. Who wins in a race, Yachty or Albert?
I'm going to go with Albert on that one right now, yeah.
Pools being waved in all the way from first.
One teammate protecting your family. Who do you choose?
Probably Paul Goldschmidt, yeah.
Favorite St. Louis restaurant so far?
Annie Gunn's.
What baseball player would you like to be for a day? You'd like to exchange your ability for his for just one day?
One day? Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, Ohtani!
Probably just to see how I'd feel to throw 95 and hit bombs.
Who was the one player that you saw that you thought, I really want to be him one day?
Well, in Orange County, I kind of grew up a Dodger fan, so Adrian Beltre was probably the first guy.
Your interest in hockey, the Blues on a 1 to 10?
Probably like a 5, 6, I want them to go far. I know how passionate St. Louis is about their team, so I know they're really good also.
And O'Reilly scores his 20th.
What is your baseball dream moving forward?
Well, obviously I want to win a World Series. That's what I really want. I just want to win the division, win a World Series, and then see how many times we could do that, and then obviously just have a healthy career, and hopefully by the end of my career, I can look back and say I have no regrets.
And maybe wear a red jacket and maybe end up in Cooperstown.
Could happen. All right, Frank, thanks.
You just have a few more weeks to check out the Beyond Van Gogh experience, how you can go with mom for free this week.
With gas prices these days, who wouldn't want to fill up their tank for free? Well, Today in St. Louis is giving away free fuel this week. All you have to do is tune in tomorrow morning starting at 4:30 to find out how to enter The giveaway, by the way, sponsored by Phillips 66.
You can enjoy your favorite summer concert for just $25. It's all part of Live Nation's Concert Week. It includes more than 3,700 shows at venues across North America. The week-long sale starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Live Nation's website. For Mother's Day, you can take Mom to the Beyond Van Gogh experience at the St. Louis Galleria for free. Just bring a pack of diapers or pull-ups with your paid admission, and then your mom gets in for free. The donations will go to the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank. The deal runs Thursday through Sunday. I still got to get there. It's been on my list.
You have big plans for Mother's Day?
I'm working with you.
Well, that's
I'm spending
true.
it with you.
Yes, and I'm sure you're thrilled about that. There you have it, 5 on your side at 10. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is next.
Guest tonight, Benedict Cumberbatch and Father John Misty. Have a great tomorrow.